Christmas Eve. The cafe was loud with laughter, music, glasses, voices overlapping. At the corner table, a woman sat alone, tears falling silently. She could not hear the carols, could not hear the jokes. People noticed, then looked away. A single dad stood up from another table. His daughter tugged his sleeve. He did not speak. He signed slowly, carefully. "You do not have to be alone tonight." The woman looked up, and for the first time that evening, she was not invisible anymore. Her name was Hannah Miller, 32 years old, deaf since childhood, meningitis at age 4, lost her hearing completely. She learned sign language, learned to read lips, learned to navigate a world built for sound. But Christmas Eve was the hardest night of the year, not because of sadness, not because of loss, but because of noise she could not enter. The cafe was packed tonight, families celebrating, couples laughing, friends leaning close, sharing stories. Music played, Christmas carols, jingle bells, silent night. Ironic. Hannah sat at the corner table. She always chose corners. Corners were safer. No one bumped into you. No one tried to start conversations that ended awkwardly. When they realized you could not hear them, she watched. That is what she did. Watched mouths move, watched laughter rise, watched hands clap, watched heads throw back in joy. She could see happiness. She just could not hear it. The waitress came over, spoke too fast. Hannah tried to read her lips, caught maybe half, nodded, smiled politely, ordered tea. The waitress smiled back, moved on to the next table. The easier table. Hannah pulled out her phone, scrolled through messages, old ones, from friends who used to invite her before it became too complicated, before they got tired of repeating themselves, of writing things down, of feeling awkward. "Merry Christmas, Hannah. Sorry we can't make it tonight. Next time." But next time never came. Her parents had died 3 years ago. Car accident, sudden, devastating. They were the only ones who learned sign language, who never made her feel like a burden. Now she was alone. She looked around the cafe, saw a family, mother, father, 2 children, laughing. The father was telling a story. The children were mesmerized. She saw a couple, holding hands across the table, whispering, smiling. In their own world, she saw a group of friends, raising glasses, toasting to friendship, to another year. And she felt it. The loneliness, sharp, heavy, crushing. Not because she wanted their lives, but because she wanted to be part of something, anything, to not feel invisible. The tears came. Quietly, she did not make a sound, could not make a sound, even if she tried. They fell, down her cheeks, into her tea. People noticed. She saw them glance, see her crying, then quickly look away. No one wanted to deal with someone else's pain on Christmas Eve. So she sat in the corner, crying silently, while the world celebrated. Around her, she thought about leaving, going home, to her small apartment, to her cat, to silence. But she stayed, because leaving meant admitting that she truly was alone. So she wiped her tears, tried to smile, pretended that sitting alone on Christmas Eve in a crowded cafe was a choice, not a sentence, but it was hard, so hard, to pretend. She closed her eyes, tried to imagine what the music sounded like, what the laughter sounded like, what joy sounded like. But imagination is not the same as experience. She opened her eyes, saw the waitress bringing more food to happy tables, saw couples leaning closer, saw children unwrapping small gifts, and she felt more alone than ever, because loneliness is loudest when everyone else is together. She picked up her phone, thought about texting someone, anyone, just to feel connected. But who? Everyone was busy. Everyone had plans. Everyone had someone except her. She put the phone down, picked up her tea, cold now, took a sip anyway, and waited for the evening to end so she could go home and pretend that Christmas Eve did not matter. Even though it did, it mattered so much. At the other end of the cafe sat Daniel Brooks, late 30s, single father, widower. His daughter Lily sat across from him, 7 years old, brown hair and pigtails. Coloring on a napkin with crayons the waitress gave her, they had come for hot chocolate, nothing fancy. Just a tradition. Christmas Eve hot chocolate, before going home, to watch movies, to be together. Daniel watched Lily color. Careful, focused. She drew a house with 3 stick figures, a family. "Who is that?" Daniel asked. Pointing, Lily smiled. "That is you, that is me, and that is Mommy in heaven." Daniel felt his chest tighten. "That is beautiful, sweetheart. Do you think Mommy can see us from heaven?" "Yes, I think she can, and I think she is proud of how strong you are." Lily nodded, content, went back to coloring. Daniel sipped his coffee, looked around the cafe, happy, warm, full of life. That is when Lily tugged his sleeve. "Daddy, that lady is crying." Daniel followed her gaze, saw Hannah at the corner table, tears falling, silent, alone. Most people looked, then looked away. Daniel did not look away. He studied her, not intrusively, but carefully, noticed how she watched people's mouths, how she seemed disconnected from the noise around her. He recognized something in her isolation, because 3 years ago, his wife Emma had been dying slowly from ALS, a disease that stole everything, movement, speech, eventually, breath in the final months. Speaking hurt her, too much effort, too much pain. So Daniel learned sign language so they could communicate without words, without sound, so she did not feel alone in her silence. Emma died peacefully at home, holding his hand, their last conversation in signs. "I love you. I love you too. Take care of our girl." Always, Daniel still remembered every sign, every gesture, every silent word. And now, looking at Hannah, he saw the same isolation, the same invisibility. He made a decision. Lily asked, "Is she okay?" "I do not think so." "Should we help her?" Daniel smiled. "Yes, we should." He stood up, walked slowly toward Hannah's table, careful not to startle her. Hannah did not notice until he was right there, standing beside her table. She looked up, surprised, defensive. Daniel did not speak. Instead, he signed slowly, carefully. "Are you okay?" Hannah froze, complete shock, stared at him, at his hands, at his face. Someone was speaking to her in her language, without sound, without awkwardness. She wiped her tears quickly, embarrassed, nodded, then shook her head, honest. Daniel signed again. "I am Daniel. This is my daughter Lily. We are getting dinner. You are welcome to come with us if you want." Hannah's hands trembled. She signed back, hesitant. "I do not want to intrude." Daniel smiled, signed. "You are not intruding. We are inviting." Lily appeared beside him, waved shyly. "Hi." Hannah smiled, through tears. "Wave back." Daniel signed. "No pressure, but no one should be alone on Christmas Eve if they do not want to be." Hannah looked at them, this stranger and his daughter, offering kindness without expectation, without pity, just humanity. She signed. "Okay, thank you." Daniel paid for her tea. They left the cafe together, walked 2 blocks to a small diner. Quiet, warm, no music, no crowd. They sat in a booth, Lily on one side, Daniel and Hannah on the other. The waitress came. Daniel ordered slowly, so Hannah could read his lips. Hot chocolate for Lily, coffee for him, tea for Hannah, and pancakes as to share. Lily pushed her coloring across the table. To Hannah. Do you want to color with me? Hannah looked at Daniel. He nodded, encouraging. Hannah picked up a crayon, started coloring. Gently, carefully. Lily smiled. You are good at this. Hannah signed. Thank you. Lily did not understand, looked at Daniel. He interpreted. She says thank you. Lily's eyes widened. Is that sign language? Yes. That is so cool. Can you teach me? Daniel laughed, signed to Hannah. My daughter wants to learn sign language. Hannah smiled, genuinely, for the first time that night. Sign. I can teach her if she wants. Daniel interpreted. Lily clapped. Yes, please. The food came. They ate, slowly, comfortably. No one asked why Hannah was alone. No one asked where her family was. No one made her explain herself. That mattered more than anything, because sometimes the kindest thing is not asking, just accepting. Daniel signed. Have you been deaf your whole life? Hannah signed back. Since I was 4, meningitis. Do you use hearing aids? They do not help. The damage was complete. Daniel nodded. My wife could not speak in her last months. ALS. I learned sign language so we could talk. Hannah's expression softened. I am sorry for your loss. Thank you. It was 3 years ago. We are okay now, but I remember how isolated she felt when people stopped trying to communicate. Hannah signed, emotional. Yes, that is exactly how it feels. People give up too easily. Daniel signed, I will not give up. Hannah felt tears again, but different ones. Not loneliness, but relief, gratitude, connection. She signed, why are you doing this? You do not know me. Daniel signed simply, because you looked how I used to feel after Emma died, invisible, in a room full of people. Hannah nodded, understanding. Yes, exactly that. They sat in comfortable silence, eating pancakes, coloring with Lily, existing together. And for the first time in years, Hannah did not feel alone. They stayed at the diner for 2 hours. No rush, no awkwardness, just presence. Lily showed Hannah all her drawings, explained each one with enthusiasm. Daniel interpreted. When Hannah could not read Lily's lips, Hannah showed Lily how to sign simple words. Hello? Thank you. Friend. Lily practiced over and over, proud, excited. Look, Daddy, I can say friend. She signed it imperfectly, but with joy. Daniel smiled. You are doing great. Hannah signed to Lily, slowly. You are a good student. Lily beamed, even without understanding every word. She felt the kindness. The waitress brought us more hot chocolate, refilled coffee, smiled at them. A family, even though they were not. Daniel asked Hannah, through signs, do you have family? Friends nearby? Hannah's expression fell. She signed. My parents died 3 years ago. Car accident. I am so sorry. Thank you, they were. The only ones who learned sign language, who never made me feel different. What about friends? Hannah signed slowly. I had friends before, but it is hard to maintain friendships when communication is difficult. People get tired of repeating, of writing, of trying. Daniel nodded. People do not realize how exhausting that is. No, they do not. They think I should just read lips or use technology, but it is not that simple. I know, Hannah signed. How do you know? Because Emma, my wife, could not speak. At the end, people stopped visiting, stopped calling, because it was too hard for them. Hannah's eyes filled. Yes, exactly. But it was not hard for her to want connection, to need people. Hannah nodded emphatically. Yes, that is it. People think because I cannot hear, I do not need social connection, but I do. I need it more than anything. Daniel signed. I believe you. Those 3 words meant everything because most people did not believe, did not understand, did not see, but Daniel saw, understood, believed. Hannah signed. Can I ask, why did you learn sign language? For your wife? Most people would not. Daniel thought carefully. Signed. Because love is not just words, it is communication in whatever form the other person needs. Hannah felt tears. Again, but good ones. Your wife was lucky to have you. I was lucky to have her. She taught me that silence is not empty, it is just different. Hannah smiled. That is beautiful. Lily interrupted, tugging Daniel's sleeve. Daddy, can Hannah come to our house to watch movies? Daniel looked at Hannah, signed. No pressure, but if you want, you are welcome. We usually watch Christmas movies, drink cocoa, nothing fancy. Hannah hesitated. I do not want to impose. You are not imposing. Lily invited you, and I would like the company. Hannah signed. Are you sure? Yes, completely sure. Hannah looked at Lily, at Daniel, at this unexpected, beautiful offering. Okay, I would like that. Very much. Lily cheered, clapped her hands. They paid the bill, left the diner, walked together through softly falling snow. Lily held Hannah's hand, naturally, without hesitation. Hannah held back, careful, gentle. Daniel's apartment was small, modest, but warm. Photos everywhere, of Emma, of Lily, of memories. Hannah looked at the photos, signed. Your wife was beautiful. Yes, she was. Lily looks like her. Yes, she does. Hannah saw a photo of Emma in a hospital bed, smiling, despite everything. She looks happy, even there. She was because she knew she was loved. That is all she wanted. Hannah understood, completely. They settled on the couch, Lily in the middle, Daniel on one side, Hannah on the other. Daniel put on a movie with subtitles, so Hannah could follow. Lily snuggled close to both of them, content. Halfway through the movie, Lily fell asleep, head on Hannah's lap. Hannah looked down at this small child, trusting her completely. She signed to Daniel. She is beautiful. Daniel signed back. Thank you. She is my world. You are a good father. I try. It is hard doing it alone. I imagine, but you are doing wonderfully. Daniel smiled, tired, but grateful. Hannah signed. Can I ask something personal? Of course. Do you date, or is it too soon? Daniel thought. It has been 3 years. I thought about it, but it is hard to find someone who understands. That Lily comes first, always. Hannah nodded. That is how it should be. And I think I am still grieving, not constantly, but it comes in waves. Grief does not have a timeline. No, it does not. They sat in comfortable silence, watching the movie, being present. Hannah signed, thank you for tonight. I was so lonely. In that cafe. Daniel signed, I know, I saw. Why did you notice me when everyone else looked away? Daniel signed honestly, because I have been where you were, alone in a crowd, invisible. And I remembered how much it hurt. Hannah felt understood, completely, deeply. You saved my Christmas Eve. Daniel shook his head, signed. No, you saved ours, Lily and I. We were going through the motions, traditions, without joy, but tonight felt different, felt meaningful. Hannah smiled. I felt that too. Daniel signed answered. Can I see you again? Not romantically, just as friends, I think. Lily would like that, and I would too. Hannah signed back. I would like that, very much. Good, then it is settled. The movie ended. Lily stirred, woke up, rubbed her eyes. Is it over? Daniel nodded. Yes, sweetheart. Lily looked at Hannah. Did you like it? Hannah signed. Yes, very much. Lily smiled, did not understand, but felt the warmth. It was late, past 11. Hannah prepared to leave. Daniel signed. I will drive you home. You do not have to. I know, but I want to. Make sure you get home safely. Hannah accepted, grateful. Lily hugged Hannah tight. Can you come back tomorrow? Hannah looked at Daniel. He nodded. Hannah signed. Yes, I can if you want. Lily cheered. Daniel drove Hannah home to her small apartment, walked her to the door. He signed, thank you for tonight. Hannah signed back, no, thank you. You have no idea how much this meant. I think I do. Hannah smiled. Merry Christmas. Daniel. Merry Christmas, Hannah. She went inside, closed the door, leaned against it, and cried. But not from loneliness, from gratitude, from connection, from hope. For the first time in years, she felt seen. Christmas morning, Hannah woke up to a text message from Daniel. Merry Christmas. Lily wants to know if you are coming over. No pressure, but we would love to see you. Hannah smiled, texted back, I would love to. What time? Whenever you want. We are home all day. Hannah arrived at noon carrying a small gift for Lily, a coloring book with colored pencils. Lily opened it, squealed, hugged Hannah. Thank you, Hannah signed. You are welcome. They spent the day together, cooking, playing games, watching movies, being a makeshift family. At one point, Lily asked, Hannah, do you have a Christmas tree? Hannah shook her head. No, I live alone. It felt sad to decorate just for me. Lily looked at Daniel. Can Hannah share ours? Daniel smiled. Of course. Lily took Hannah's hand. Come on, I will show you all the ornaments and their stories. Hannah followed. Lily explained each ornament, some from Emma, some from Daniel's childhood, some Lily made in school. Hannah listened through Daniel's interpretation, through Lily's gestures, through the love visible in every detail. At dinner, Daniel made spaghetti, simple, but good. They ate around the small table, laughing, sharing stories, feeling complete. After dinner, Daniel made hot chocolate. They sat on the couch, Lily between them. Again, her favorite spot. Daniel signed to Hannah. Can I tell you something? Of course, when Emma died, I was so angry at the world, at God, at everything for taking her from us. Hannah listened. But tonight, last night, I felt something different. Gratitude, not for her death, but for what she taught me about communication, about seeing people, about not giving up. He paused. If I had not learned sign language for her, I would not have noticed you, would not have been able to reach you. Hannah felt tears. Daniel continued. So in a way, Emma brought us together even though she is gone. Hannah signed. That is beautiful. And I think she would be happy that her legacy is connection, not just grief. Hannah signed back. Your wife sounds amazing. She was, and you remind me of her in some ways. How? Your strength, your grace, your ability to find Burshi despite pain. Hannah signed. I do not feel strong, but you are. You showed up to that cafe, even though it was hard. You did not hide, you tried. That is strength. Hannah wiped tears. Thank you for seeing that. Daniel signed him. Thank you for letting us into your life. Lily fell asleep again between them. Daniel carefully lifted her, carried her to bed, tucked her in. When he returned, Hannah was looking at the photos of Emma. She signed, I am not trying to replace her. Daniel signed quickly. I know that is not what this is. Then what is it? Daniel thought carefully. Friendship built on understanding, and shared experience of loneliness and hope. Hannah nodded. Yes, that feels right. Daniel signed. Emma used to say that love is not limited, that caring for one person does not diminish caring for another. She was wise. Yes, she was. Hannah signed. I should go. It is late. Or you could stay, guest room, no expectations, just so you are not alone on Christmas. Hannah hesitated. Are you sure? Completely. Hannah accepted, grateful, again. Daniel showed her the guest room, simple, clean, comfortable. Thank you, Daniel, for everything. Thank you, Hannah, for being exactly who you are. She closed the door, lay in bed, in this stranger's home. That felt, somehow, like home, and she realized something profound. Loneliness is not about being alone. It is about being unseen. And tonight, she was seen, completely, beautifully, seen. That changed everything. They did not become a miracle story, a headline, a viral video. No one wrote articles about the single dad who signed to a lonely woman on Christmas Eve. But things changed quietly, profoundly. Hannah started coming over twice a week for dinner, for movies, for company. Lily started learning sign language at school, practicing with Hannah, getting better every week. Daniel started volunteering at the community center, teaching basic sign language to families with deaf children. Hannah started joining him, teaching advanced sign language, sharing her experience, her story. They became a team, friends, family, in the truest sense, not romantic, not complicated, just real. Hannah stopped. Sitting in corners, she sat in the middle of rooms, not hiding, not ashamed, just present. She made new friends at the community center, people who learned to communicate with her, not despite her deafness, but through it. Lily became fluent in sign language. By age 10, helped other kids at school who were deaf or had deaf parents. She told people, proudly, my friend Hannah taught me that you do not need your ears to listen. Daniel learned that grief does not mean you cannot love again, just differently, in new ways. Hannah learned that family is not always blood, sometimes. It is the people who see you when you feel invisible. 1 year later, Christmas Eve again, they returned to the same cafe where it started, sat at the same corner table, but this time, together. Lily colored, Hannah helped. Daniel watched, content. The waitress recognized them, smiled. Back again? Daniel nodded. It is tradition now. The waitress looked at Hannah. I remember you from last year. You were sitting alone. Hannah signed. Daniel interpreted. Yes, I was, but not anymore. The waitress smiled. That is beautiful. They ordered hot chocolate for Lily, coffee for Daniel, tea for Hannah, and they sat in comfortable silence, surrounded by noise, but not bothered by it, because silence is not loneliness when you are with people who understand. After they walked through the snow to the same diner where they first shared pancakes, the same booth, the same order, the same warmth, but everything was different because a year ago they were strangers, bound by shared loneliness. Now they were family, bound by chosen love. Lily asked, Hannah, are you glad my dad talked to you? Hannah signed. Talked, he signed, and yes, I am more grateful than I can say. Lily smiled. Me too, because now I have two families, the one with mommy in heaven and the one with you here. Hannah felt tears, happy ones. Daniel signed, we are lucky to have found each other. Hannah signed back, Yes, we are. That night, walking home, under stars, Hannah thought, about last year, about sitting alone, crying, invisible, and about this year, walking. Between Daniel and Lily, holding hands, seen, valued, loved, not because someone fixed her or rescued her, but because someone noticed and cared. That made all the difference. Kindness does not shout. Sometimes it signs. Daniel did not save Hannah with money, with pity, with grand gestures. He saved her by seeing her when everyone else looked away, by learning her language years before they met for someone else he loved, by teaching his daughter that communication. It is not just words, it is effort, it is presence, it is caring. Hannah did not need to be fixed. She needed to be seen, to be included, to matter. And the smallest gesture, a hand signing, "Come with us tonight," changed everything, because loneliness is not about being alone. It is about being invisible, and sometimes the most wonderful thing you can do, notice someone who feels unseen. If you believe the smallest gestures can save someone's night, subscribe. These stories are for people who notice.